back to my channel. This is your first time of seeing this face. My name is Rafiat. I'm a little tummy chef. I'm not a trained chef, but I'm a chef mom, so that makes me a little tummy chef because I develop healthy recipe for babies and older kids. So today we are going to talk about grains for little tummy. Grains are stage 1 baby food. That's what we are talking about today. But before then, I want to thank you to those that have subscribed to my channel. And if you have not subscribed, try to subscribe to my channel. And anytime I upload a video you like, you can give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to click the bell button, so anytime I upload a new video, you will be one of the first people to see this video. So let's get started. So over the years, grains has been the perfect stage 1 baby food, which rice has been the best out of the grains to start with. But during the days of our grandmothers, these grains, it's something they always give as first baby food. But the problem is, the days of our grandmothers, we don't do what they do to grains, and everything that happens to grains these days don't happen then. Like GMO in our food, we don't have then. They have the best food then, so it was easy and cheap for them to use as first baby stage 1 baby food. And another thing is, they take their time to ferment, to sprout and ferment these grains before they offer it to baby. But these days everybody get busy, we don't have time anymore. Mothers don't do what our grandmother did to grain. We don't do it these days. So that's why it's not easy for kids to digest grain. But the belief was that grains is very easy to digest for baby. Yeah, before we digest grain, our body needs to produce an enzyme called amylase. Baby don't produce amylase until some babies don't produce amylase until they have their first molar teeth. Some produce at 9 months, while some produce at 12 months. We all know babies grow differently, so we need this amylase to digest grains. So baby don't produce amylase in large quantity at that stage. At 6 months, they don't produce amylase in large quantity, so they don't have enough amylase to digest this grain. What amylase do to grains is to split the starch in the grain so that it will be very easy for us to digest. But baby don't produce this amylase at that stage, at stage 1. So the amylase come up at stage 2. I mean large amylase come up at stage 2. For some, they start at 1 year old. So some people say you wait till 1 year before you start grain for your kids. But hey, it can't happen in our own country. It can't happen in the country whereby grains, it's a staple food for them. In a country whereby they eat grains 3 times in a day, or let me say in a week. So, but starting these grains early could cause a damage to baby's digestive system or a future problem for kids, and it can easily cause an allergy. So I see it everywhere that if you don't start grains early for your kids might have allergies to this, allergy to this food, like wheat. Wheat contains gluten, which is very easy for kids to be allergic to. But according to my experience, let me just put it that way, I would say it's a big no, because I started grains early for my baby girl and she's allergic to wheat flour. I did not start early for my son, being my first child. I started around, I think, 9 to 10 months. That was when I started grains for my boy. And this boy is very good with grains. But it's just for you to know that even if you start early, or even if you start late, if your kids will be allergic to a certain food, they will certainly be allergic to that food. Kids, so some grains are not easy to digest for kids, like rice. Let's take rice as a case study here. Brown rice contains fiber. Brown rice is not easy to digest for kids, and this is what everybody is using as a stage 1 baby food. It's not easy to digest. To digest this brown rice, there are some certain things you have to do to this rice before kids can digest, older kids can digest this rice. You have to soak your rice, as in like sprouting your rice, before you cook it and offer it to your kids, to make it very easy to digest. Brown rice is very good, and people are leaving white rice for brown rice. So, but what we don't realize is that brown rice is not easy to digest, while white rice is very easy to digest. And brown rice does not contain white rice does not contain the fiber the body needs, but brown rice, because it has been refined. But brown rice is unrefined and it contains the fiber our baby needs. Brown rice too. It's very easy to digest white rice to brown rice. So all these grains, I will advise you wait till 8 months before you start grains for your little one. So they will pass the stage of that first stage. They will pass the stage 1 before you offer the grains. What is phytic acid? Phytic acid is a substance found in nuts, legumes, and grains. So what this phytic acid does is it reduces the absorption of minerals in this food. So if you soak your legumes, your grains and nuts before you eat it, it will reduce it. If you soak it for 24 hours before you take it, it can reduce the phytic acid in this food. So it will be easy to digest and to digest the minerals. So before I move on, I would like to say, if you go to the description box below, you will see the link to my website. So you can just go there and read more about this grains we're talking about, So what do undigested grains do to baby? Undigested grains cause distress to baby's intestinal lining. As they grow up, it can cause complications to babies like food allergies, behavioral problems, mood issues, and lots more. It can cause a lot for baby. It might not be immediately, it might be in the future. So it's very good to stay away from grains as stage 1 baby food for your baby. There are so many foods you can start with for your baby at 6 months. So just give yourself a time to explore the world of vegetables and fruits before you start grains, before you include grains in your baby's diet. Start this solid for them. And there are so many things they can explore, like fruits, like vegetables, like eggs, like meat, that you can give to them. You can offer them that will be satisfied instead of starting with grains. So I would not recommend you recommend feeding your baby grains as stage 1 food or highly starchy food like cabbage, like unripe plantain, like unripe banana as stage 1 baby food. I would not recommend that. And I would not recommend that until 8 months, if not a year. So if you want to start this food for your baby, it's very advisable not to be an everyday thing. Maybe you can do that 3 times a week or 2 times a week. It's okay to do for your baby. So even if you're starting grains, you have to don't make it an everyday food and try just applesauce, but fruits like applesauce is a great first stage 1 baby food because it's very sweet. It adds its own natural sweetness to deliciousness, so that they feel that there's something that's more sweeter than that breast. There's nothing like breast milk, but you introduce them to apple at first as stage 1 baby food. So after introducing this apple, you can just start by adding vegetables together, but get it right. Don't mix food together for your baby, as in the food that you have not tried separately, don't add it together. Go to the video to my how to start solid for babies video to watch all I talk about starting starting solid for baby. Just go and watch it. The link will be in the description box below. So don't do the food you have not tried individually. Don't add them together for your baby. So if your baby will have allergy to any food, it will be very easy for you to identify the food your baby is allergic to. So it's very good to separate. It's very good to try all this food individually. So you can start with fruits like apple, you can start with pear. Banana is a very good first food, and also vegetables like banana is very good for them too. Also vegetables like carrots, sweet potato. We have a lot. Just go to the description box below. You will see a baby food chart. I'll put a baby food chart link in the description box below. Just go there and see all the food you can start, fruits and vegetables you can start as stage 1 baby food. So we move on to fats. This fat could be butter, it could be ghee, it could be coconut oil or avocado oil, but not sunflower oil, but not vegetable oil. So it could be all these I've mentioned. You can add it to your baby's food. If you make applesauce for them, you can just put a little bit of butter or a drizzle of coconut oil or ghee in their food. You can go to the description box below to see how I make ghee. I have the video of how to make ghee. It's very easy to make, and it's a very good food for your baby. If you want a lovely skin for your baby, if you want a chubby baby, and if you want a good gut for your baby, a healthy gut for your baby, ghee is a very good food to start with for your baby. So it's very good for them. It's something that you can start with at 6 months. You can start egg yolk for them. Not the whole egg, is egg yolk. Egg yolk for baby. All egg until your baby is 1 year old or 1 year and some months. That is when you can start adding whole egg to their diet. Once your baby starts solid, iron is very, very essential. It's an essential nutrient for them. So it's very good to add iron to their diet at 6 months. So meat is considered to contain a lot of iron. I don't do meat for my baby because getting an organic meat here is not something that's easy to buy because it's very expensive. And family living on budget like ours, we have to stay back on meat for a while. I mean, we have to cut our meat, you understand? Not that we don't eat it at all, but we cut it down because if I would advise you go for organic meat or a good meat, grass-fed meat, you understand, not a meat that have been given hormones and whatsoever. We discussed that in another video. So you can start meat for them. You can start fish, turkey, and prawns is very good too. You can use fresh prawns, you can use dry prawns, you can just blend dry prawns and everything into their diet. So I will be sharing how to make your own baby food. So you will see how I grind fish. I use fresh fish a lot, but I also try to use dry fish because it's very good and it's very convenient for you to add to your baby's food. And I'll be showing you how to make dry crayfish. All this is very good to add to your baby food at 6 months. You can just put a drizzle in their applesauce if you are making for them, sweet potato and everything. You can just put all this small, the fats and the protein, you can add it to it and blend it together and give to them. So it serves as a great stage 1 baby food. All the nutrients they need is in these fruits and vegetables. When you have crossed that stage and you think it's high time I start grains for my baby, if you are ready to start grains for your baby, these are the things you have to take note of. Number 1 is, like I said, do not mix grains as early food. At early stage, do not mix 2 to 3 grains or mix grains with peanuts or mix grains with nuts and whatsoever. Do not do all that. All you have to do is try all these things individually, and if you are trying nuts for them, try to mix it try to start with a pinch of nuts and try to add this thing gradually. Let's say you try peanuts today, you add pinch of peanuts to your baby's food today. Try to wait for 3 to 4 days to start another, to introduce another nut or whatsoever you are adding to the baby food. So try to do that. The number two is try to choose whole grain. We have a lot of whole grain for kids. Like I said, we have a lot of whole grains. Like I said, white rice does not contain the fiber we need. So even if you are going to do, but brown rice is expensive. Even if you are going to do white rice, I will advise you try to mix white and brown rice together so that you get all the nutrients in brown rice, you get it in your white rice. And white rice is very easy to digest, so you can just mix these two rice together for them. So we have a lot of whole grains. I will introduce you to a lot of whole grains in the kitchen. So don't make food in large quantity for your kids unless you are going to freeze them. So if you are starting grains for them and you want to mix other things to these grains, don't make it in large quantity. And any food that stay in your fridge more than 24 hours, you have to discard it. So unless you want to freeze it, that is when you have to mix. That's when you have to make in large quantity. And the last thing is, try to soak your grains overnight, at least for 24 hours or at least for 18 hours or overnight. Try to soak this grain, and after soaking, try to sprout it a little bit. All this I will be showing you in my next video. Try to sprout it a little bit, and after sprouting, try to ferment your grain. That means when you grind it or before you grind it, try to ferment your grain. So it will help the digestive system. It will help as I always say, kids have leaky guts naturally. So when you add fermented food to their digestive system, it will help it will keep the good bacteria in the digestive system, and it will fight the bad bacteria coming to the digestive system. So fermented food is very good for digestive system, for kids, for babies and older kids, and even for you as an adult. Fermented food is very good. And we have a lot of fermented food in Africa. Let me just say, in Africa, yes, but in Nigeria, the ones I know are like, we have pap. We ferment our pap. If you ferment it in the right way, we have pap, we have echo, I don't know what they call that. So those are the things you need to take note of, and try not to do too much when it comes to this grain. As in, don't do too much. Don't feed every week. Don't give them grains every week. Try to make it in 2 to 3 days. If you go to my blog, you will see an idea of a meal plan, of a baby meal plan. So if you check the idea, you can see how to mix your baby's food, how to meal plan your baby food. So it will not end up being grains every week. There are so many things you can add. During the first 6 months to 12 months of this kids, it's like you are exploring, your baby is exploring the world of food. So try to add so many things try to make it fun for them, so that it will be something they will want to come back to. You understand? And the stages of baby food from 6 months to 8 months is puree. You have to puree this food. You have to blend it to a liquid. If you go to my blog, you will see that there. You blend it to a liquid form, as in a liquid texture, to not too runny, but it will be liquid. That is from 6 months to 8 months, so that it will be very easy for them to digest. And from 8 months to, let's say, 10 months, or 8 months to 9 months, let's say 10 months, you start matching food for them at 8 months. You don't need to blend it into puree, so that they feel the texture. Even if they don't have teeth, just mash this food for them so that they feel the texture in their mouth, and you are introducing them to chewing food. So this texture will be easy for them to digest when you mash their food. So when they are 10 months upward, you start giving them soft food. You understand? Start giving them soft food. But if you are going for BLW, that is baby-led weaning, you can start by giving them soft food at 6 months. I don't do that because I'm always scared of doing that. But at 7 months, I always start giving my baby something to hold, like biscuits to hold, and like fruits that I can cook down to a very soft texture and give it to them to hold to start eating by themselves. But I'm always with them because I'm afraid of choking, you know. So at 10 months, start giving them something, start giving them biscuits to hold, start giving them something to eat, like fruits, like carrots. You can boil carrots to a soft stage and give it to them to put in their mouth themselves. So once they are 1 year old, try to introduce them to self-feeding. I start self-feeding at 9 months for my kids. I always like starting at 9 months, so it will be easy for us at 1 year to proceed. So that's what I, so those are the stages of your food. Those are the texture of food you are going to give your baby at that stage. You watch my video and you like my video, give it a thumbs up. It's very important for me. So you give it a thumbs up and click the bell button, so anytime I upload a new video, you will be one of the first people to see this video. Thank you very much for listening to me.